No doubt many of you have heard of the famous Lime cycle, but what perhaps is a little lesser known is the natural hydraulic lime cycle. So similarly to lime, it starts with a limestone, the difference being the natural hydraulic limes come from limestones that have certain very specific impurities, and that impurity takes the form of silicon dioxide. Silicon dioxide may come from clays or other things that come from volcanic activity that have found their way into the porous structure of the limestone, lodged there. And to unlock its potential, what we do is add heat. That calcines the limestone. That heat is around 1800 or more degrees Fahrenheit. And typical of limestones, what you do is you calcinate all the CO2 out. However, there's a slight difference. In addition to the quicklime that's formed, calcium oxide, there's some of the calcium begins to fuse with those silica impurities to form dicalcium silicates or bellites. These form slow-setting cementitious gels. At that point, what is typically done in the manufacturing process is there's a forced hydration with steam, and that forms calcium hydroxide with the addition of these bellites or dicalcium silicates. When that arrives on the job site, the craftsman, mason or plasterer, will add liquid water to make his materials. And the first thing that happens is there's a chemical reaction that begins to take place with those bellites forming hydrous calcium silicates, these crystals that set just with water. And that's where the natural hydraulic lime gets the hydraulic component of its name, the setting with water. That consumes anywhere from 30 to 40% of the calcium as having these type of reactions, but there's still a lot left over that's just the same normal process that goes on with pure limes. 60-70% of the calcium slowly over time through reabsorption of CO2 from the atmosphere begins to carbonate, begins to crystallize. And so the end result is that an NHL mortar or an NHL plaster is a combination of calcium carbonate with these hydrous calcium silicates having certain special properties, greater resistance to erosion and higher compressive strengths.